The Boston Bruins cannot pass up this opportunity as another name has been thrown in and immediately jumped to the top of the Bruins search for another right-handed defenseman, and how this player adding to this team completely surpasses many of the other candidates. We're going to be breaking it all down, who the player is, why they fit, and how another player similar to him going through the Marco Sturm School of Development will completely change this Boston Bruins team. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to break down here in today's video. If you haven't already and you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that sub button if you want to stay up to date with the Boston Bruins, but also with the trade deadline, or just about 2 weeks away. We have a lot of stuff still throughout the remainder of the Olympics, heading into that deadline. When the Bruins return, you won't want to miss it. We're going to have it all covered, and we're also on the road to 8K. We're currently sitting at 7,710 subscribers. The big goal to 8K, and let me know down below. What do you think about the Bruins trading for a bit of a younger right-handed defenseman, as many of the other names that we've seen have been on the older side? So let me know down below. But where this all comes from, this all sparks here from the report that Braden Schneider is one of the top candidates for the New York Rangers to be traded. And according to all reports, and looking at how just about everything, the Bruins are at the top of the list. And this one right here comes from Lyle Richardson of Bleacher Report. And you see right here, Don Sweeney's attempt to acquire Anderson was a clear indication that the Bruins GM wanted to shore up the depth on the right side of his blue line, beyond the first pairing of Charlie McAvoy. We've known that. That's nothing new. But right here, that could have set his sights on Braden Schneider as an affordable second pairing option. Now, there's one very big difference between Braden Schneider and many of the other, I guess we could say, targets that this Bruins team have been really keeping an eye on, is that Braden Schneider is strictly defense. That one thing right there is a much different situation from what we've seen from Justin Falk, what we've seen from Rasmus Anderson, what we've seen for the very little bit of Zach Whitecloud. You look at Braden Schneider on the very simple graph here, doesn't seem like a whole lot of, big things coming from him. 11 points, 57 games, and minus 15. Keep in mind, though, New York Rangers, not the team that I think any young player right now would want to play on, but 81 block shots, 115 hits, and 74 shots even from the blue line is not bad. And when we extend these stats and go and really look at everything, the defense and grit puts it really into perspective that you're putting him really in the top 50th, or I should say, the top 50th ranking among all the NHL, but is in the 95th, 96th percentile of defensive stats. He is one of the best defensive defensemen in the NHL already, and he is only 24 years old. He's a big kid as well, 6'3", 206. He loves to throw the body. That right there, I think, is what many Bruins fans are going to see as a perfect fit, a perfect option for this team. And I mean, looking at how this team is really kind of locked in on the defense, I guess we could say, Andrew Peeke, who we're going to touch on in a moment, seems to be on his way out. I feel like it's just a matter of time. But when you go through Jonathan Aspro, Nikita Zadorov, Elias Lindholm, McAvoy, Peeke, Lowry, even Jordan Harris, Henry Okiaru, there's really only one, to me, that screams a very solid defensive player, and that's Nikita Zadorov. Being able to have a younger player at 24 years old jumping in with that same role, splitting the lines up a bit, not having them on the same, or on a penalty kill, keeping them the same, this really unlocks another level of a defensive aspect for this Bruins team, and gives this offense the time that they need. The, level of defense that they need to really go on the offense and put in the work. We don't want to have to see David Pastrnak or Morgan Geekie or Pavel Zacha really have to be the one that you rely on for the defense here on this team. So given the opportunity of having two very good defensive defensemen, two very physical defensemen who are, kind of terrifying to play against, I guess is the best way to put it from an outside standpoint. We know that nobody wants to skate in on Nikita Zadorov. Nobody wants to skate in right now, even on a bad Rangers team, on Braden Schneider. That's where things kind of change up for this, not just the Bruins team, but this aspect, this side of a defenseman in the NHL. And for years and years and years, probably a century at this point, that's really been the identity that the Bruins defense has held themselves to. And even given what's next for Braden Schneider, even though, there's no need to trade him for the Rangers, he is currently in the final year of his deal. He's an RFA. He's their number one right-handed defenseman, $2.2 million. And given the RFA status, there's control for whatever team he would be under. So you're looking at a team here, and I mean, you even look at Puckpedia, have him listed as 6'4", 214, even bigger than what our stats show here, our in-house ones. It really goes to show there's a lot of openings for Braden Schneider, especially with what is to come in his extension. Now, given the opportunities of a trade, there's been lots of, ideas that we've seen. A lot of younger players would probably need to go, and there's been the conversation of would this Bruins team be willing to give up what it takes? We've seen it for Justin Falk. I don't think so. If you can get him cheap, why not? But you're going to have him. They're likely gone, maybe even retired by the time this Bruins team actually gets to a Stanley Cup level of competitive once again. You have Braden Schneider, you can have him for a decade. You could have him for 15 years. He's the kind of defenseman that can play forever and never take a regressed season. He is someone that I think a lot of people are going to have their eye on, and the Bruins need to make this splash now while they can. And even given the opportunity of an extension, that's the big thing. You're not going to get him as a rental. He is an RFA, which means he can't walk. But when you look at right now where the projections are, this is from AFP Analytics. Capway just had this on their site. 1 year at 3.9. A bridge deal sort of thing. I mean, not even really a bridge deal at that point. But the big one, a 6 year at 5.5. I don't know about you, but to me, for a defensive defenseman, for his production and what would be a different change of scenery, a much better kind of pairing, whatever it may be, or whichever you would see Marco Sturm choose to put him in, that seems like a steal. I think there's no doubt about that. And, regardless, the Bruins have no cap issues coming up whatsoever. They're fine on that. And I mean, it almost seems like a certain or guarantee that the Rangers will be trying to do something to change up and get out of this retool as quick as possible. They're at the bottom of the Metro right now by a landslide, and it's not very often you see an original six team, a very, very old team, stay at the bottom. I think the longest over the past couple of years we've seen have really been the Montreal Canadiens, and that was even a very short turnaround from their Stanley Cup, run to where they are now. Credit to them, and even the Bruins. We saw the 1 year retool that they had, and look where we are now. We're still not there, but we're as close as we want to be, and much better, honestly, than we want to be at this point right now, with a lot more to come. So you give the Rangers an opportunity to make a deal, even get a little bit better right now, they're going to do it. And I think that the aspect of what could be shipping out for the Bruins just makes too much sense for it not to happen. I feel like that's where it really comes down to. Fluto Shinzawa putting this out. Andrew Peeke, if a contender is looking to, eagerly add a right-handed defenseman with depth, that would be Andrew Peeke, giving the Bruins another spot as a second-line right defenseman. Also, coming into that we've known that forever, this team has not stopped to look for a right-handed defenseman since before Rasmus Andersson. This is an opportunity that they cannot pass up. Ladies and gentlemen, it really is not. Braden Schneider, once again, pull up his stats, go into the deeper part of it. He is a phenomenal player. The defense that this kid has already at 24 years old, and being able to learn from Charlie McAvoy, Elias Lindholm, Nikita Zadorov would only make him an even better defenseman. And I think right now, there is zero chance, zero way that you can pass up on Braden Schneider. He's doing everything that this team would want to, even when they're not good. So let me know down below what you think about that. And also, would you be interested as Braden Schneider as an option? I'm saying yes, 100%. Let me know down below what you think. And when it comes to it, what a package could be, I think that Mason Lohrein's not off the table. You're switching out a young defenseman for one that would be much more useful, much better. The Bruins have so many picks they can, almost consider expendable at this point, but also they have a lot of depth on forward and defense that can go younger side and older side. So they have a lot playing into the Rangers' hands here. Let me know down below. Give me a Y for yes and N for no if you like Braden Schneider as an option. But that is all I have here. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.